Say hi, Luki.
So it has been a while since we came and we did a live. We wanted to give an update on Luke and on everything that's going on with us.
And try to be more consistent now.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, Luke wants to talk too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we has been. I don't know the last time we did it. I was like.
The last time we did it, we talked about acceptance. I think that was the last time.
Well, anyways, people who follow us know that in March I had some minor thing going on in my foot. I ended up being admitted in the hospital, but it was fine. Nothing was like, it was kind of like precautious.
No, tell the truth. It wasn't fine. It ended up being fine later on. But,
yeah. Well, yeah, they talked.
For a while, we were actually thinking that we're gonna have to amputate part of her foot.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
very crazy.
They suspected of a bone infection, which it's actually something that I think one day we need to talk about it, right?
Yeah. Let's do it another time. Yeah, definitely. It was it was kind of crazy. But anyways, we made a lot of progress in the past few months. The last time we did it, we were just getting him admitted for the change in the circuit.
Yes.
So he changed his circuit, he changed his settings a little bit, and that was a life changing for us.
Oh my God,
a lot of things
so much different.
Were different, and he's so much stronger now. The settings that he has in his machine kind of catch whatever effort he's doing and give him what he's missing at that point. And that fluctuates all the time. The one that we had before, he had more settings, which if he was tired, he needed more, we weren't able to give him more. So more pressure, more support. So this is
right now with this circuit, he have a lot more control of his own breathing, which is good. And it's better for him anyways, but it's better for him to get stronger. So that's a big plus for us.
Yeah.
And we saw a huge difference in secretions and
a lot of things,
plugs and all kinds of stuff that was making us crazy before, and kind of reduce
a lot. And also almost. Hi, Priva. So almost at the same time, we changed his diet. We start changing his diet slowly. We wanted to give him because Richard and I, we are.
Let's explain how we got to that decision of changing.
Yeah.
Because I work with health and performance and stuff. So one day Karen and I, we were talking. I said listen. If somebody burns fat as fuel, you have a bigger, you create a better environment on your body to build muscle. And that's when Karen and I, we both click. It's okay, why isn't Luke eating this way? So we brought it up for the doctors with a lot of resistance to change his diet. But we actually found someone that were willing to guide us into that change. And Kara can tell even more because she spent more time with him during the day, but it's been night and day difference in terms of his energy levels, his strength, his cognitive, his brain is it feels like his brain is in 120%, working 120%. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible the difference we saw.
Like Richard said, we decided to take care of what we were eating, kind of watch what we were eating again after almost 2 years
Surely.
uh, that we've been in this journey. We decided to like get our health back and whatever we're eating back, and also because it's like a busy schedule for us. Like Richard's working. I'm like we look all the time. It's a busy schedule. Like we need energy, so we decided to change. That was like end of April, I think, and we both start feeling so much better. I had like so much more energy for everything, and I'm like, oh, and I was more clear and everything else. So Richard, we talk about it, and we're like, well, if that makes a change on us, can you imagine on Luke? So I remember that I met someone that kind of started the ketogenic diet for epilepsy, for kids with epilepsy. And so I contacted her, and she remembered me like from a past job that I had, and she remembered me, and then she told me she actually specialized in enteral feed, which is like G2 feeding
and rare diseases.
Yeah, and rare diseases. So I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. So when I talked to the hospital about it, she trained the professionals there are knowledgeable with ketogenic diet in the children's hospital. She was the one who created the program and trained them. So they are like, okay, we trust her, so let's just see how we do it. Our goal was never to put Luke in ketosis and be in ketogenic diet, period. It was more to have a low carb, high fat diet to, like your brain. Everybody knows that Luke's cognitive is intact, so like the more we can work his brain to make him like be more aware of his body, and then make more effort or push it harder to get stronger. We wanted to focus on that. So she said like the benefits for his overall health will be amazing. So we decided to try, and like the first few days we already saw a change, and we already saw a difference. And after we went through ups and downs in terms of weight, and everybody was kind of skeptical in the hospital. In the hospital, I mean, his team was kind of skeptical until we got to do some testing 2 weeks ago, and they're like, okay, he's not in acidosis, and his blood work was really good, and because we are the ones who are with him all the time, so for the doctors to see that he's way much better, it's kind of hard. Yeah. But when they see the numbers, they're like, okay, so this is making sense. And
just to keep in mind, like there is a difference between like full-on ketogenic diet and the like mainstream ketogenic diet, which is like it's just a way of burning fat as fuel. It's almost like a paleo diet. So that's exactly where pretty much Luke is. He's not a full-on, to be full-on ketogenic diet, it's like, I don't know, it's like 80% fat, and he's like 50% fat, and so like the difference that we saw was like amazing. And the funny thing is, like Karen and I, we talked about it, like when Luke was born and everything happened, for us, like every knowledge that we had on nutrition and stuff like that, it just went out through the window, because we, like we were such in a stress mode and survival mode that, like all we ate was crap, and, like we just wanted to get over the hump. So once like we came to Colorado, and, we started to kind of go back to ourselves, getting the life back again.
Yeah.
That's when we realized, like, you know what? We did this for years before, and we felt so much better, stronger, and more energy and all that. And that's when we put it like, hey, you know what? We should do this with Luke. And it's upsetting sometimes that most of the medical community, they're afraid of all this stuff, but now they've seen it, the difference that it's making with him. So it's been like,
and the changes that we're making, and it's not like huge changes, we're still keeping his formula from before, which it was vegan, a vegan formula. So it's like the veggie part, he gets it. And we just added protein on, so we added like, he's now on turkey, chicken or salmon. So we cook the salmon and we use turkey and chicken organic.
We know you cook.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we add oil. So he's MCT oil. He has MCT oil and he has olive oil. So it was not like that big of a change for us, or should I say for me, to make his food, because before it was ready and you just put it in and you just add water. But now I add a few other things and I blend it, but it's not that big of a deal. And it makes a huge difference for him, and that's the most important. Like even if it was really hard and it make that much of a difference, then I wouldn't mind doing it at all.
Plus, like it's we can control a lot more the quality that goes into to him.
Yeah.
And like the incredible part is he used to wake up at night with gas like crazy, and like now, honestly.
And he has a hard time passing gas, so he would have to vent him through his G tube.
And he would wake up and cry.
Pain,
So now, like his gas is gone. Honestly, it's like if we vent him like 5 minutes a night, it's already a lot. Like the gas is gone. He's absorbing better. He's not having to eat through the night, which is like that is key because.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, if he's eating through the night, his body is at the same time that he's trying to rest, he's trying to digest something.
Yeah.
And then now
that's a big
with
thing
this diet, we eliminated the feed through the night, because when you burn fat as fuel, you're not gonna lose muscle. You can go longer without eating, so you're not gonna lose muscle because you're not depending on the sugar. So that made like a huge difference on his life and our life.
Yeah.
And he's waking up.
He's eating like 3 times a day, and one thing that we both talk about it was like, why not try it? Especially because he has a G tube. So I think I'm gonna say this, and you guys take it whatever way you think you should take it, but. It's a blessing. He has a G tube. It's a blessing.
Oh my God,
you can put on him and you can give him whatever we feel like it's best for him. It's not like he's eating junk food everywhere.
If we have another kid, I'm gonna ask for a G tube.
Being exposed to it. So I'm like, wow, we have this amazing tool. I would say tool to give him the best nutrition we can give it to him. So let's try this and let's see how that goes. And that has been a blessing. And just to wrap it up, this subject, I wanted Richard to explain just a little bit about the fact that he is eating fat as fuel and how does that work. And in that sense, like why before we couldn't go like over 4 hours without feeding because he could start losing muscle. And now it's the opposite. Our main goal was, one of our main goals was to eliminate the night feeding, because nobody eats while you're sleeping. So it's not like your body is not programmed to do that. So we wanted to, if possible, to make that happen, and it's happening. So and I think that's basically because he's fueled by fat now. So like he's moved by fat. So can you explain just a little bit?
Technically, the easiest way to explain is, the body had 2 fuel tanks, and we have the fat fuel tank and we have the glycogen fuel tank, or carbs or sugar, whatever. So the interesting part is with my studies, I found out now that kids are already born fat burners. So when kids are already born fat burners, because like they can be a while without eating, because you were naturally born just burning fat as fuel, period. Okay, so basically you have those 2 fuel tanks. You have the fat fuel tank and the sugar fuel tank, and if you eat a lot of sugar, the body's gonna use that. But the problem is, when you're using sugar or carbs as fuel, you can super fit athlete can store only up to 2,000 calories. So think about like having a bank account with $2,000 and having a fat fuel tank with the skinniest person you're ever gonna meet in your life have 40,000 calories on fat to be burned. So imagine paying your bills from a $2,000 account versus paying bills from a 40,000.
2,500.
Yeah. So when you burn from that 40,000 fuel tank, it's gonna take a while for your body to run out. So you're not constantly in danger, because when you lose 20% of those 2,000 calories, your body start kind of getting into nervous breakdown, and he start breaking down muscle instead. So when you burn fat as fuel, you not only keep your muscle, but it's easier to gain muscle through that. So that's the main thing. That's what I did as a triathlete for a long period of time. So that's basically the easy explanation is think about two bank accounts. So if you're expending $2,500 on that bank account daily, and you only have 2,000, your body's always gonna be like, okay, the minute that goes down a little bit, he's gonna go to emergency mode. So when you're burning fat and you lose 2,000 calories from 40,000, it's nothing, and you can replenish that later on. So it makes
it less volume too. Right?
It's less volume. It's easier to digest. It's easier to on his gut, and everybody by now, if you don't know, you can know now. But there's plenty of studies says that the gut is our second brain. So imagine like we're feeling his gut. And also one thing that I learned that I didn't know, and I learned I didn't learn on my courses, and I learned when I changed Luke's diet, is that gas is actually inflammation on your body. So if you're having a whole lot of gas, you're having a whole lot of inflammation. And if you're having inflammation, it's bad for your muscles. So for a kid like Luke that have muscle weakness, we need to minimize the amount of inflammation that he has, so he can actually recover fast and grow stronger. So eliminating that, the biggest thing that was giving him inflammation, it's huge. And like we saw the first 2 weeks, we saw already like a big difference.
Yeah. And then he fluctuates on his weight a little bit, but now he is just going up and up stable, for like the past 3-4 weeks. I think he's going just up. So. And
the funny thing is, like when you touch him, comparing before and after the diet, you can see a lot more muscle tone on him. So it's not that he's gaining body fat percentage in terms of weight. He's actually feels like he's actually gaining some muscle.
Yeah. So, and I just finalize. Sorry. I don't know if we talk about the benefits that we saw, like besides like the cognitive part. He did a big jump.
Yeah, he did like a huge jump.
I talked to Luke in Portuguese. We talked to Luke in Portuguese. So I talked to him all day long in Portuguese, right? And nobody else speaks to him in Portuguese besides my parents, but they're not here all the time. So the other day, I was playing with him, and I asked him to show me where was the butterfly, where was something else, and he showed me in Portuguese. And I'm like, who taught you that? Oh. I didn't teach you that.
We should tell that story.
I didn't teach him butterfly yet, you know what I mean? Like, we walk around, but I mean, I didn't teach that specifically, and I was like so impressed. So many things that he caught up. And I know there's a lot of developmental part too, that he's 2 and, things are going fast. But it was a big jump in a small amount of time that it was really impressive. He responds now like a lot of voice. He's not doing a lot of voice now because he's looking himself, so he loves to watch himself. Right, Luke?
But we should tell that story. Like we went to do a communication device.
Oh an evaluation for a communication device.
For the communication device, and we were like, okay, it's gonna be in English. We speak mostly with him in Portuguese.
Yeah.
So we were expecting like maybe he gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like the lady was asking so much stuff above his age,
Yeah.
and he was answering like
Yeah.
one after the
She-
other.
like
He
one-
knew it, everything.
yeah, one-
Stuff that we never even talk about it with him, and we were like,
I was
okay.
like, I was ready for him to fail on a few of the tests, and then I'm like, the first test that she came to him was, she showed him a bed, like a picture of a bed, and a picture of like, I don't know, an animal or something. And then she asked him, show me tired, and then she got the bed, right?
Yeah.
And then she showed him a picture of like an apple and a picture of something else. Show me food, show me hungry, something like
Yeah.
that. And then he got the apple. I mean,
Like
it was,
all the stuff that we never
I was
taught him,
pretty impressed.
he was like answering like right after the other. That the lady was like, she was so impressed.
I
it
was
was
really
incredible.
Yeah, and they couldn't figure out which one he's gonna use it
Yeah.
better because
We
He-
spent 3 hours over
yeah.
there. We're looking,
he tried three
schooling
types of
everybody.
devices. Yeah, he tried 3 types of devices, and he was good in certain things in each one of them. So they're like, we don't really know. We have to do some therapy
To kind of figure
to
it
get a
out.
diagnosis of which one he's gonna work better. Yeah, so that part, the cognitive is amazing. Muscle wise, he's so like, we still give them, we need to give him the input, but we give him the input and then boom, next day he's doing it. He already knows. And that has a lot to do with the brain too, because, you kind of need to send a message to your brain and say, this is what I need to do, and this is okay, I can do this. And then after that, he start doing it. So there's a lot of things going on. His voice
Whoa.
is like off the chart, like he's talking all day long. And he's not doing that, like I said, because
Muscle-
he's watching himself. But
Muscle wise, it's good to remember one thing that a few weeks ago we were kind of freaking out because of his curvature on his scoliosis, but because the doctors, they decided to do X-ray with him sitting down, which he collapsed. But anyways, so we did in March, we did an X-ray where his scoliosis was at 35%, and we went through all this. They were talking about, they were thinking about doing surgery sooner and this and that, but we changed the diet, and then we just recently got another X-rays, and like according to, I know it's a different guy that measured it, however,
yeah,
he actually saw some improvement. So he went from 35 degrees to 32 degrees, which is not a whole lot, but he hasn't progressed. So that means that his tone is getting better. So that was
You
like,
agree, man? Look.
when we saw that, we were actually pretty happy, and we realized that the diet is making such a huge difference for him,
Yeah.
like overall. So
Yeah, we were pretty impressed. We didn't expect less than that, but we didn't expect that much.
yeah,
I can't see the comments there, so I'm seeing here. So, hi Luke. This is from Priva. Hi Priva. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hi Charlene. Hi Michael. He's starting keto.
Yeah, Michael, don't wait until we start next week. Start right now. It's gonna make a huge difference on you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah, he's much more alert.
yeah, and then yes, it means more quality of life for sure. And he's being more alert. So
Yeah, it's been like a crazy, like benefit from.
oh,
like,
and there's another
overall,
thing.
it's
He's
so
been
crazy.
sleeping. She told us that he's gonna
Oh,
sleep
yeah.
less. He's gonna poop less. He's gonna poop like whatever he needs, not like being like, and has like a schedule. And he's gonna have more energy throughout the day. So he used to sleep like 14 to 16-hour days, which for the mama here was like more hours for me to clean up and do this and that. But I'm to be really honest, I'm not complaining because now he's sleeping 10 to 12-hour days, including his nap. So he goes to bed at, like, we put him in bed 9 and he ended up sleeping like at 10. But he wakes up at 7:30 now.
Yeah.
So he
And
sleeps
she
9
said
hours
that-
plus 2 hours.
She said that, and
In
I
the
thought it
beginning.
was BS. She said like he's gonna start waking up with the sunrise and
Yeah.
you know and all that.
Yeah.
And then we were like whatever, and it happened.
And he
So-
used to wake up at 10:30
Yeah, like
every
sometimes
morning.
we
Yeah.
had to wake him up. You know,
For
like that's how
therapy.
tired he was. But
And he goes through therapy like, there's, I'm like, okay, now he's tired. Third therapy of the day, he's going to be tired. And he performs like they never expected him to perform. So, it's
even the
weird-
therapist, like every week they're saying like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and it's like
Yeah.
the only explanation we have is definitely the diet. Just because he had more energy to do everything, so it's
Yeah, we can take it from us, like adults. If you change your diet, you change a lot of things in your life. It's like a different lifestyle and a different quality of life. So, I mean, right, Luke? I wouldn't expect to be bad for him. I would expect to be good, but we didn't expect to be that good. So we took a chance, and we actually had her. Yeah, she's still following us. She's still helping us. So she's amazing. If you guys need her information, I'm happy to give it to you guys because she's amazing and she researched and she's like sending things to the doctor too, because a lot of doctors don't have experience with ketogenic. The
Yeah.
only experience they have is for epilepsy and seizures, and so yeah, I'll be happy to share that. And I think we are out of time. Yeah.
well. Just one thing. She only works with pediatrics, so if any of you wants to change your diet, you contact me. I have a new website up.
Yeah.
It's richardwygand.com. So you don't need to look at it, but I'm just saying, just for fun, since we're already talking about changing diet, so might as well make a marketing right here.
Yeah. So we're gonna say hi to everybody. Cláudia, Marli, oi, mamãe, oi, vovó Silvia, vovó Lília. Vamos dar oi, filho.
Dá oi, cara. Gonna say hi?
Hi. Thank you for watching. We're gonna try to be more consistent,
Yes.
and next time we're gonna talk a little bit more. If you have any questions, please write it down, and then we answer them next time. We have a few things that we want to talk about, so we're gonna spread it out. But next week we're probably gonna talk about more of acceptance and things like special needs, like
Yes.
on the Wygand's household, right?
Yes.
All right, guys.
All right.
Have
We're
a
gonna
good
do Portuguese
weekend.
next.
Yes, we're gonna do Portuguese next, so stay tuned if you wanted to hear the Portuguese version. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye bye.
Say bye, Luki.
Bye.
You got it?